Hello and welcome to another video. This is the Truth About Parenting video that I'm doing today, and it's all about how to please your kids. And I'm doing this because at the moment Henry, my son, is very stroppy. It took a while for him to get dressed this morning, and I had to use bribery to get him to put his clothes on and his school uniform on, but was refusing. And when they do that, it can be very hard work. But you just got to be stern with them. I know I don't like telling him off, I don't. But I know I've got to, because he can't react in that way all of the time, especially with other adults, because it is hard work. So he needs to understand that, when he moans and he kicks off, he's not going to always get his way. And that can be tough to deal with. But I find and I do get to the point where I'm a breaking point. And Henry knows when he's really got me cross, because he's just been effusive. And so what I do is I'll tell him, but then I'll explain it to him. And I prefer that method is to talk to him rather than talk to him, not at him. And sometimes I can feel like I'm doing that, and that's the one thing that I need to learn, is to talk to him more rather than at him. And kids test your patience. It's in their DNA to test your button sometimes. They do see how far they can push you, but they need to stop doing that, because what I try to put towards my son Henry is that if he wants to have the things in you that he loves, he's got to be kind. It's okay for him to express himself, but in a way that's not going to cause harm to others. Not lashing out, because he does have a tendency to lash out, and so that needs to be nipped in the bud straight away, because he needs to understand that if he's going to get on with other children, get on with other adults, he has to be respectful and understand that he has to sometimes, do as I say, but I do give him options as well. I do give him a chance to choose, and I give him a chance to have his say. But it's the stamping of the feet, they're making funny noises, that can really infuse the anger in me and get me cross, and I hate getting to that state. So I do all I can so I don't lose it. And sometimes I just need to step away, go into another room, come back out again, or say, okay, try again in a minute, and until he plays ball. And that can be, you may have to do that for a half hour in my case. But then he will comply to it, and when he sees he's done a good thing, he does recognise it. And I've said to him that in order for us to all be happy, he has to understand that he's got to share, that he has to be kind to others, and communicate by words, not by actions. Even though obviously I need to myself work on my own self to better his, and I do set myself goals, and I learn from each mistake I make. So because I don't always get it right, and we as parents, we're only human beings. We're not robots that can do everything they ask. And when you get in that, it's like hitting the danger zone, because he will cry to get what he wants still, and I need to get in his mindset that he can't always have his way. He's got to be patient. He's got to understand that he has to share the world with everybody else, not just with himself. But then he is good with other kids, because he's very sociable, and I think sometimes he kicks off because he misses that interaction with children. Because I find that kids learn better by other kids. And when I was working at the school a couple of weeks ago, I did 3 days in the Holiday Club, and I noticed there that there were kids that were super shy, there were kids that were really sociable, but I know there was this one, but two sets of brothers, also there. That one and one had real autism issue, had autism, really bad autism, and his brother, God bless him, took it in his own stride to look after his brother and get a book out and a toy that he knows that his brother loves, and I thought that was so lovely. Unfortunately, they didn't all get on, and there were arguments a lot, and it does take your toll. And my confidence got in working with children has really been knocked, and I think it's because I haven't done it for a while, and you do forget, there's so you do. I found myself that I wasn't good enough to continue on, even though it did work out. So something I need to deal with is that not to allow it to affect my confidence. I think that's what I lose my confidence as a parent a lot, and I need to step up from that. And it's trying, different ways, because I also find with kids is that we find a way of deterring your child, and then they work out that, and then they go against that. They don't always follow the same rules all the time, because then they decide that they don't like that week, like a certain food. Henry, one minute loves bananas, next minute he doesn't like bananas. But if he sees me eating one and other children eating one, then he wouldn't eat some. And I do think that kids do learn. And this weekend we had friends over who had other children, and Henry loves it when he sees his cousins, and there's another little girl that he absolutely loves, Nell. And she, when he first started riding his bike, he couldn't get the hang of it at all. Yet she showed him, because she had the bike as well, and he got it straight away. So kids do learn, and that's where I would, like to have more children, because I think that Henry would then see that he has to. He can't always be about what he wants, and in order to be a good child, he has to learn from other children who are good, not who are bad. And I think his first school that he went to didn't quite get that, and they would have a class where all the disruptive kids would go into, but that didn't help, because then he would learn from them kicking off and swearing. So, even schools don't get it right, even though they have qualifications. And I don't like to moan about teachers, because, and I suppose it's contradicting something that I am, but it wasn't. It was the way it was run. I don't necessarily blame the teachers. I blame the educational setting as such, and the way that was arranged. Because when Henry sees other kids playing nicely, he wants to be involved, and with Henry, he will often kick off if he doesn't win a game, and he'll really get the ump if he doesn't get to win. But he needs to understand that he won't always win. He won't always win snakes and ladders, but it's okay, because you keep playing, the more they'll learn. And the one thing you need to end it to a full stop, but keep trying. So then he gets it and understands, oh, so we have to play like this, and his actions. And I am very conscious of the way I behave that could affect him. So I've had to do a lot of stepping up myself, understanding myself as a parent, and my confidence has been knocked a lot. And I do feel that I do get it wrong a lot of the time, and I don't always get it right. But that's part of life. That's part of learning as you go, because that's how I've found parenting, is that you learn with each milestone, transition, and you just got to make them understand that if they want they want to not be told off and want to be able to watch the tablet when they decide to watch it, and they want to listen to music, if they want to play a computer game, they have to do uh, do good in order to receive those things. Because if they're kicking off every single time, it spoils the game, and they need to understand that if they want to continue on playing, they have to play in a friendly way. It's good to be competitive. Don't get me wrong, competitiveness is good, but at an even level, not too high level, expecting to win all the time. And that, it's about taking turns. It's about keep learning and learning. And I know that he has begun to understand that if he wants to play and everybody happy, he has to work on his own actions. And when it comes to him kicking off, what I tend to do is I take him away from that, or one thing I don't like doing is telling someone off in front of other children, but having other children leave and then speak to my son. And that's something I want to. You don't need an audience to tell a child off. They just need to listen, and they just need to understand that what they're doing is wrong. So that's something I need to work on myself as a parent. Is to I say, right, okay, thank you for telling me that. Okay, if you can continue playing, I will have a word with Henry to make sure he doesn't do it again. And so it's learning different strategies, learning for different dilemmas, and just doing your best. You can only do your best, but just understand that as a parent, we are there to help them be independent, help them to be a good human being. And that, it can be tough. It is ways of doing it. By, just taking yourself away and then coming back. And, you do what you've got to do at the end of the day. So, I hope, if you are liking these videos, please let me know, or there's things that you want me to talk about, please comment in the section below, and subscribe if you want to see more. So, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.